Oh, hi. I was just reading a story by one of my favorite authors here. Sorry about that. You know, one of my favorite stories about Troy Wright, really not a story, more of an experience, is anytime I knew that kids didn't want to have a lecture or take a test, I could walk into his room and ask him how he felt about climate change, and I knew that I was going to give the kids the day off from having a real class that day. In the meantime, Troy, I can't wait to fight this fight with you. We're not going to give up, and I'm excited to be a part of this big team, all pulling for you. Thanks, bud.
Okay, Troy, I don't know if you remember this or not, but you and I were the only hirees for the high school in 1989. When I met you, I was thinking, what a handsome young guy who had the whole world ahead of him. Do you remember that crappy little office we had in the central office building? It was dark and stinky and small, and we shared it with Jim, the guy who got fired pretty shortly after that. But we had a lot of great stories to tell, and it was a good time in spite of the fact it was crappy. I thought of you as the younger brother I never had growing up, and I felt so privileged to hear about your life adventures. I remember when you were trying to decide if you should stick with the old girlfriend after you had met Laura. I truly wanted you to be happy with whichever woman you picked, and ultimately we know how that one turned out. Luckily, you got two beautiful daughters in the deal with Mackenzie and Kara, and I felt so lucky to be able to get to know them a bit as their counselor. I have also been there rooting for you when you went through your divorce and finally ended up with the woman who really wanted to be with you and the woman that you deserved, Robin, the actual love of your life. Now I'm still cheering for you in the wings, knowing that you are a big, strong guy who has already gone through so much and survived, and that you are still capable of winning the fight of your life now.
My favorite memory, of you was just like whenever I got a right question, you'd always just look at me and go, "My man," and I can't wait to see you back up there teaching and ranting. I can't wait. We all love you and we miss you, man.
I'd say my favorite memory about you is when you were gone one day with the guest teacher and I accidentally snapped your desk in half. You didn't really take it that hard either. You just let me keep it. It's actually in my shed right now. I even spray painted it and everything. So I'm probably gonna mount it on my wall. Have a real remembrance from you, just like that. Yeah.
Troy, I think the thing that I've always respected about you and I've always liked the most is you're always everybody's biggest fan. You always are so supportive of everyone. I remember when Kurt won the state championship in soccer, you were the first one there that day. I was in Kurt's room congratulating him, and you came and gave him a big hug, and just how happy you were for Kurt. I always remember that, and I always remember as well how excited you were for Stacy and I when we found out that we were selected for adoption, and you were the first one to come and say congratulations, gave me a big hug, and that's something I've always really appreciated about you and respected about you is you're always everybody's biggest fan, and everybody here is your biggest fan, buddy. So thanks, keep it up. You're gonna be great, man. Take care.
After having you for 2 years in 2 different classes, my favorite memory is probably the first day of this year when you were taking attendance for the first time and you got down to my name and you looked down, you go, Swears, and you just kind of shook your head because you knew it was going to be super fun to have me in class again.
Hey Troy, been thinking a lot about you. We know just like your team's on the basketball court, you're gonna work hard and you're gonna compete and you're gonna beat every obstacle that you face. So, man, sweet Jiminy, where's that quote been? I haven't heard that in a while and I miss it. So good luck, Troy. Let us know if you need anything.
All right, Troy, my favorite story about you is when I was still athletic training and you were still coaching and you were having kind of a year, and at the end of one of the games, one of the parents up in the stands made a comment, which I will not repeat, and you looked at him and I just remembered, buddy, don't do it, and I grabbed your arm and I told you it's not worth it, and I had your back then and I'll have your back now.
Hey, Mr. Wright, known you a long time. First time we met, you were coaching my sister. She was the one that could only dribble with her right hand, but she was fast. And then I later got to know you in different ways. I had you in class, and that was a memorable experience. I believe that was my freshman year, just starting out in high school. And most recently, of course, as a colleague and as a friend. One of your best qualities is how blunt you are and how direct you are, how there's absolutely no BS. And there's so much of that going around in our society, in our culture, in our school, but I can always depend on the truth and a blunt word from you. And also, I really appreciate how humble you are. And you're one of the most accomplished coaches. I know that you're not comfortable hearing that, but you are one of the most accomplished coaches in Madawane's history. And you never want to talk about yourself. You're always pushing the credit to other people, and you're always pushing the attention to other people when you deserve it. And I remember one time I walked into your class and I was looking for a student, and you just randomly brought me in front of the room and made an announcement about me, about how terrible tennis was before I arrived and how awesome tennis is now that I'm coaching. And that really, really made my day. And that was just one example of many where you're constantly giving credit to others and giving no credit to yourself when you deserve it. We're looking forward to getting back to work with you, and hopefully see you soon.
Hi Troy. One of my favorite memories is when we had the official lockdown and you knew that I would be nervous and scared, and you came with a bat and sat in my classroom with my students in the corner and made me feel valued and supported, just like you've always done for the, I don't even know, 25 years of my life. And I will be there for the next 25 years of yours in any way, shape, or form. And hopefully we can retire and enjoy some sunsets.
Hi Troy, I just want to share with you the one lesson that you have taught me is the kindness of being straightforward in the things you say. Now, the first time that happens, of course, you get taken back, but after you get over that and you start feeling good about it, you realize that really what it is a gift of kindness. I never have to guess what you're talking about. I never have to figure out what you mean or the hidden message, and I'm a better person because of that. And I thank you so much for the opportunity that summer just to come together and sit and have a lot of coffee, and talk about just about everything. And I just think the world of you, and I wish you just the very, very best. I'll be praying for you and Robin and thinking about you daily. And if there's anything I can do, I am right here. So God bless you.
Hey, Mr. Wright, it's me, Caleb, from school. You might remember me. We had a couple of classes together we shared. Remember that time you took my hat? We got in a little scruffle freshman year. That was pretty fun. I'm glad we got to move past that and grow as a whole, as a one person, and just cherish the moments we had together. And we miss you, and we hope you're doing better. And I'm glad you were one of my teachers, actually, because I feel like you really did shape me into a better person throughout high school. And I just want to say thank you. I hope you get better soon.
All right, hey Troy, eating lunch with Jen. She's right next to me.
Hi.
There she is. Positive memory. My favorite, I think, all-time, buddy, was when you came over. We sat on the back deck. We drank more than our share of adult pops, and I think it was a stumble back in to the kitchen, and it was a great night. The next morning was a little fuzzy, but it was a good time. So keep up the good fight. Probably as things move on, you'll figure out that beer is going to be one of those things that you have to give up, but hopefully this story gives you good flashback.
Yeah. Sup. Hope you feel better, dude. So we can go on a crusade, bruh.
Troy Wright. Oh, what do I remember about you? Seen you a lot lately. Things that come to mind. Maybe he was a 23-year-old coach wandering into the gymnasium where I used to teach with it looked like about a 14 or 15-year-old Chad Conklin, his assistant coach. And that's the first time I remember seeing T. Wright. But ever since I've been here, he and I have kind of, done things together socially. And probably one of the fondest memories I have is also of the omelet, the infamous omelet. Six ostrich egg omelet, and about a half a garbage can full of food that we ate one morning at about 4 a.m. after a stint over in New Buffalo. But Always a fun time when I'm hanging out with T. Wright.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Wright? It's Mitchell here.
And it's Cameron here.
Oh, wait
Just
a minute.
kidding.
That's better. I hope you're feeling a lot better.
Maybe we can visit you soon and see how you're doing.
Yeah, get well soon.
Okay, hi Troy. I just wanted to say how much we miss you, and I can't wait until you're peeking in my window again and waving as you go by to go home. I love all the times that you've stopped in and we've chit-chatted about absolutely nothing and absolutely everything. So I'm thinking of you and can't wait to see you back in my hallway.
Hey, Mr. Wright, I hope that everything turns out okay in the end, and know that we're all here to support you and everything, and that you are not alone in dealing with this.
One thing we really miss about having you in class is that you would always go on these little rants on Wednesdays on CNN 10. There'd always be a semi-controversial topic, and you would just go off on it. We would spend about 30, 40 minutes of class talking about it, and we all loved it. It was so much fun.
God wills it.
So, I remember back in the day, and I know you know the story well. We were in the old Later L gym. Coach Wright got a little upset with the old basketball team and started swinging his whistle around, telling us to get on the line for 17s, and all of a sudden his whistle slipped out of his hand across the entire gym floor and went underneath the bleachers, unable to be reached. I've never run so much on a single day in my life. Coach Wright. It was terrible.
Hey Troy, I just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you, and you're in my thoughts all the time. I don't have like a specific story, but I've known you since I came in here in 2003, so for a long time, and just wish you the best.
Hi Troy, we just wanted to say hang in there and stay strong. You've been my biggest supporter, and be nice, so it's time for us to be your biggest supporter. I think the funniest thing that's happened to us in the last couple years that we've both laughed about, well I guess this year really, is when we thought that we were talking about the same student because they had the same name, and then we found out that they were totally different students after we'd had about 5 conversations about them. So I hope that maybe that'll give you a little cheering up once in a while. And I know the last time we talked last week, our worlds kind of collided even more with my father-in-law and you playing basketball with him. So I know I'll talk to you. Troy, Robin, stay strong, and we love you both.
Mr. Wright, my favorite memory of you is that one day in class we were talking about evolution with the class, and you were talking about Playboys or something, and then all of a sudden what I remember is that you just yelled out, "Now we have porn everywhere!" I hope you get better, Mr. Wright.
Hey, Mr. Wright. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you have high spirits. Hope we can take that Vegas trip, like we usually do, year-round. Don't get too crazy like last time. I won't say what happened on camera, but you know. I loved having you in class, even though I was asleep for half of it. You're a great person. I love you. You've shaped me into the best person I can be, and I hope you're doing well. Love you, Mr. Wright.
Hi, Troy! Hi, Troy! You can't see us! It's Jen and Lori! We're on Super Trail! Wish you were here!
I love you. I love you.
Hey Troy, just want to let you know, man, I had a memory of you, and it just helped me get through a weird time when I remember, and you showed me how to be professional with some of the kids. And it was the year that I had to travel to all these different classrooms, and I sat down in your classroom at 6th hour one time, and there was a kid who used to wear communist Russian outfits, military outfits that he got online. And it was the first day that he came in with that whole outfit on, and a copy of the Communist Manifesto from Karl Marx when we were reading Animal Farm. And I'll never forget how you just didn't take any crap off anybody. It was hilarious. But you yelled at that kid for wearing that and saying he had no idea what he had on at the same time we're reading these books that are anti-communist. And it just made me laugh, because without you actually having the courage to say that to people, kids who do whatever, it just made me laugh because I realized I got to be more like that. I got to call it out when I see it. And that's what I love about you, man.